Hi students, good morning to one and all. Previous classes we discussed about the parts of an angiospermic flower. A angiospermic flower having four floral parts. They are namely first floral part calyx, second floral part corolla, third floral part androecium, fourth floral part gynoecium. Dear students, previous classes completed in first floral part calyx, second floral part corolla. Now today onwards discuss about the third floral part androecium, fourth floral part gynoecium. Dear students, androecium, this is a diagrammatic representation of androecium. Now in generally androecium is composed of stamens. This is a one stamen. Each stamen which represents the male reproductive organ. This is a male reproductive organ. This male reproductive organ consists of a stalk or filament. This is a stalk or filament and an anther. An anther. The male reproductive organ, that is stamen, consists of two parts. One is a stalk or a filament, and another one is anther. Another one is anther. This is a stalk or filament. This is a anther. Okay, and each anther is usually bilobed. Each anther is usually bilobe, that is two lobes. This is a first lobe and this is a second lobe. Most of the angiospermic plants or flowers are bilobed. 99% of the angiospermic flowers are bilobed, especially 1% that is angiospermic flower belongs to Malvaceae family. Given the example for China rose or hibiscus are having two unilobe, only containing a single lobe. But here most of the angiospermic flowers are having two bilobe, that is two lobes. And each lobe has two chambers. Each lobe has two chambers. This is a first chamber. This is a second chamber. These two are lobes. How many lobes are here? Two lobes. And each lobe have two chambers or two pollen sacs. So this lobe have two chambers and another lobe have two chambers. Totally two lobes, but four chambers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four chambers. Each lobe has two chambers or pollen sacs. And this pollen sacs will be produced pollen grains. These are the pollen grains. These are the pollen grains. The pollen grains are produced pollen sacs or chambers. So in generally each anther has bilobe and each lobe has two chambers or two pollen sacs. So the pollen grains are produced pollen sacs. The pollen sac containing number of pollen grains. These pollen grains to be rich gynoecium of the stigma. Then after to be germinate pollen grains to be make a one pollen cube. Some of the species are have to sterile stamens. Sterile stamens. These sterile stamens is called staminode. These sterile stamens is called staminode. Especially seen here, Cassia members. Some of the Cassia species. Some of the Cassia species. That is staminode. A sterile stamen is called staminode. By means unfertilized pollen grains, unfertilized pollen grains, unhealthy pollen grains. Next, coming to when stamens are attached to the petals. So dear students, some of the members, the stamens are attached to the petals, and sometimes some stamens are attached to the perianth. So these are known as epipetalous or epiphyllous. Epiphyllous. Now, when stamens are attached to the petals, that is epipetalous, as in brinjal. As in brinjal. Telugu name Vanga. So dear students, when stamens are attached to the petals, when stamens are attached to the petals, so these are the petals. How many petals are here? 5 petals. So first petal, second petal, third petal, fourth petal, and fifth petal. At the same time are here. So 5 stamens. These are the here stamens. So how many stamens are here? 5. So how many stamens are here? 5 stamens. So first stamen, second, third, fourth, and also fifth one. So 5 stamens are attached to the 5 petals. That is when stamens are attached to the petals. That is epipetalous. That is epipetalous. So first one, second one, third one, fourth one, and fifth one. Okay, now when stamens are attached to the petals, that is epipetalous, as in brinjal or thorn apple. Next, coming to when stamens are attached to the perianth. When stamens are attached to the perianth. Perianth means, so when sepals and calyx are not distinct, when sepals are when calyx or corolla are not distinct, to be modified one new organ, that is called perianth. This is a perianth. There is no separation of sepals, there is no separation of petals. So both are together, both are united, both are fused to be formed a new organ, that is named perianth. So perianth is composed of 4 tepals. Don't confuse here. Calyx is composed of sepals, corolla is composed of petals, but perianth is composed of tepals. This is a first tepal, second tepal, third tepal, fourth tepal, and fifth tepal. So this is a first stamen, this is a second stamen, this is a third stamen, this is a fourth stamen, this is a fifth stamen. So this is also known as epiphyllous. This is also known as epiphyllous. This is also epipetalous. This is also known as epiphyllous. When stamens are attached to the perianth, that is epiphyllous, as in lily. Telugu name lily flower, lily pushpam, belongs to family Liliaceae. These two are very important are here. Epipetalous are seen in brinjal, epiphyllous are seen in lily. Next, coming to stamens in a flower may either remain free, that is polyamorous. Stamens are many. Stamens are many, and these are arranged freely. That is polyamorous. That is polyamorous, and may be united in varying degrees. That is adulpus. That is adulpus. Okay, now stamens in a flower may either remain freely. That is known as degrees, that is adulpus. That is adulpus. Stamens may be free, that is polyandrous. Stamens may be related, that is adulpus. So in this adulpus conditions are up to 3 types. They are namely, first one here monoadulpus, second one here diadulpus, third one here polyadulpus. Okay now. So what is the meaning of monoadulpus? What is the meaning of diadulpus? What is the meaning of polyadulpus? Now students, monoadulpus, stamens may be united. Stamens may be united and are arranged in one bundle or one bunch like structure. That is monoadulpus. That is monoadulpus. So these are the stamens are here. So these stamens are here. So these stamens, when stamens are united, these are the stamens are united. This is monoadulpus. So how many stamens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 stamens may be united and arranged in one bundle or one bunch like structure. That is monoadulpus. So monoadulpus are seen in China rose. Telugu name Mandara. Diadulpus. So stamens may be united, arranged in 2 bundles. This is one bundle and this is another bundle. This is another bundle. That is 2 bundles. 2 bundles. That is diadulpus or seen in P. Telugu name Botany. And next coming to polyadulpus. So stamens may be united more than 2 bundles. More than 2 bundles. More than 2 bundles. This is first bundle, this is second bundle, this is third bundle. More than 2 bundles. That is named polyadulpus. So are seen in citrus. Telugu name Nimma. Okay now. Adulpus are maybe 3 types. They are namely first one monoadulpus, second one diadulpus, third one polyadulpus. Monoadulpus, stamens may be united or arranged in one bundle or one bunch. That is monoadulpus as seen in China rose. Diadulpus, stamens may be united or arranged in 2 bundles. Arranged in 2 bundles. So are seen in P. And third one here polyadulpus, stamens may be united or arranged in more than 2 bundles. More than 2 bundles. That is polyadulpus are seen in citrus. Okay. So next coming to, there may be a variation in the length of the filament. In the length of the filaments within a flower, as in salvia and brassica. So dear students, so these filaments all are similar. These filaments all are similar. Most of the angiospermic flowers, the stamen of filament are stalk in similar length, in similar height. But few members of salvia and brassica, especially salvia. So in this salvia are having 4 stamens. So 2 stamens are larger in size and 2 stamens are smaller in size. 2 stamens are smaller in size, that is 2 plus 2. Especially salvia. If salvia are having 4 stamens, but 4 stamens filaments are differ. How many stamens are here? 4 stamens, but here 2 stamens filament are here longer and 2 stamens filaments are here shorter. Okay, now that is salvia and brassica. So totally stamens are here 6. Totally stamens are here 6. So dear students, so these are the stamens. So lateral side of the stamens. Lateral side of the stamens. How many? Totally 4. 4 stamens are larger in size. Remaining mid of the stamens. 2 stamens are shorter in size. That is 4 plus 2. That is 4 plus 2. Brassica. That is mustard. The stamens are here 6. But the length of the filament arrangement is differ. 4 stamens are larger and remaining 2 stamens are shorter. So larger stamens is always arranged in lateral side, but shorter stamens is always arranged in mid of the or center of the flower. Center of the flower. Okay. So this is about the androecium. And next coming to gynoecium. So dear students, the fourth floral part, that is gynoecium. Gynoecium is the female reproductive part of the organ and is made of one or more carpels. So don't confuse over here. Androecium is the male reproductive organ or male reproductive part, and gynoecium is the female reproductive part of the organ, and is made up of one or more carpels or one or more fistils. And a carpel consists of 3 parts. They are namely, first part are here ovary, second part are here style, and third part are here stigma. So this is a ovary, and this is a style, and this is a stigma. But here the androecium of stamen consists of 2 parts. This is the first part and this is the second part. The first part stalk or filament, second part anther. But here the gynoecium of fistil or carpel consists of 3 parts. This is the first part, this is the second part, and this is the third part. So the first part are here ovary, the second part are here style, the third part are here stigma. Okay now. So next coming to, this is the first part, ovary. Ovary is the enlarged basal part. On which lies elongated tube. Ovary is the enlarged basal part. Then after, on which lies to the one tube-like structure, that is style. So what is the importance of style? The style is always connected the ovary to the stigma. The style is always connected to the ovary to the stigma. That is the importance of style. And next coming to the stigma. The stigma is at the tip of the style. So this is a style, this is a basal part of the style, this is a tip of the style. So the stigma is at the tip of the style, and it always receives the surface of the pollen grains. Mainly the function of stigma. So in the stigma is always a receptive surface of the pollen grains. Male flower of the anther of the pollen grains to be rich stigma. The pollen grains transferred to the stigma, that is called pollination. One flower of the pollen grains to be rich to the stigma, that is called pollination. And next coming to, each ovary bears one or more ovules. This is the ovary and these are the ovules. So each ovary bears one or more ovules attached to one placenta cushion-like structure. So attached to a placenta cushion-like structure, that is placenta. Once again, each ovary bears one or more ovules. So these ovules attached to flattened. These ovules are attached to flattened one cushion-like structure. This is a flattened cushion-like structure, that is called placenta. Don't confuse over here. This is a ovary and this is a flattened cushion-like structure, that is placenta, and these are the ovaries. These are the ovaries. Okay, now? And the corpus, so may be free. Corpus may be free. That is called apocorpus. Same. So the stamens may be free. The stamens may be free. That is polyandrous. The stamens may be innerted. That is adulpus. And the same one here. Corpus more than one. So more than one corpus. So these corpus are free. These corpus are free. That is called apocorpus. So as seen in lotus and rose. Lotus Telugu name Tamara, rose Telugu name Gulabi Poo. And corpus may be innerted. Corpus may be innerted or corpus may be fused. That is called syncarpus. That is called syncarpus. So as in mustard, Telugu name Avalu, and tomato, Telugu name tomato. Don't confuse here. Stamens may be free, that is polyandrous. Stamens may be innerted or fused or together, that is adulpus. At the same, the corpus may be free, that is apocorpus. The corpus may be innerted or fused or together, that is syncarpus. That is syncarpus. So now coming to after fertilization, these are the ovaries. The ovaries develop into seeds. After fertilization, the ovaries develops into seeds, and the ovary mature into a fruit. After fertilization, the ovaries become seeds and the ovary become fruit. Remaining style and stigma is degenerated or wither away. Degenerated or wither away or fall off. So after fertilization, the calyx, the corolla, and also stamens and gynoecium of style stigma, these parts are totally degenerated or fall off or withdrawn. Only the ovary, the ovaries, after modified into seeds and fruits. So this is a overview of the floral parts of calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. But here totally described about the third floral part of androecium and fourth floral part of gynoecium. Androecium is the male reproductive organ and gynoecium is the female reproductive organ. Okay, now fine.